Woke up very early to make sure I was standing outside the buffet before the doors even opened, and I got in this time. 1 plate, 2 plate. Had my coffees before I went in, so I was pumped, especially after last night's disappointment. 3rd plate on the screen there. Got creative with the cheese. 4th plate for dessert. Dessert at breakfast, why not when you're in a buffet? Got it all down the hatch except for that one little citrus fruit there. Unfortunately, during the 3rd plate, dark thoughts started entering my brain, like, isn't this just pointless if you throw it all up afterwards? And I wonder if the people around me look at me like I'm some feral animal. But regardless, the deed was done, 4 plates put away. I think that was a valiant effort. I don't think I beat the game of trying to eat your cost values worth of food when you go to the all-you-can-eat buffet, but I think I did a valiant effort and probably got fairly close. But after that performance, just sat there letting the food all go down, enjoying the views. We were cruising along the northern, sort of northwestern coast of Estonia at this point. The map just shows you there. But shortly after, just returned to the cabin to tidy up and finish up with the laundry. So backed it all up, except for one little top that was still a little bit damp. So stood outside on the sort of balcony area and tried to air dry it a little bit more. We arrived, and after a little bit of delay, got on our way, getting off the ferry. Boots on solid ground again, which is always good, but heading into border control in this clip here, so I thought it'd be better to probably turn the camera off. Don't want to roll up to border control filming. But anyway, headed over to the nearby Maritime Museum. Had a couple of hours to kill before check-in and needed a good museum. Walked in, saw that the crapper was called the Torpedo Room. I thought I was going to like the place after seeing that, and to be honest, it did not disappoint. So they're just showing you the map of the museum. It's kind of made up of 2 levels. So on the ground floor, there's some more displays, but the main floor is the sort of this upper level here. The museum was kind of focused for kids, but I still really enjoyed it. Lots of interesting history and especially some bits I'll show in a minute. It's a maritime museum, so obviously focusing on Estonian naval history. Saw some old boats. This one here is particularly interesting because it's carved out. I seem to recall reading it. This takes hundreds of hours to make. This is the submarine, the Lembit, you can see there, and there's displaying a film on the side of it. This submarine saw a hell of a campaign, well, more than one campaign. Very interesting history for a particular boat. Saw some racing boats, some racing ice boats. They're pretty cool. A children's ice boat, isn't that cute? Saw an over 100-year-old seaplane as well. This one was used as a bomber. It's got a torpedo on it. Look, wild. Admired some vintage Estonian naval drip. Admired some old guns. And some less old, much bigger ones as well. This was my favourite part of the museum, to be honest. This was like a little computer you interact with that takes you through some military conquests and battles that happened, during Estonia's conflicts with the Soviets. You spin the dials and it progresses through the battle and the story narrative moves on. I thought it was really cool, really interesting. There was quite a few bits about the English as well. They were quite active, helping Estonia against the Soviets a long time ago. Went into the Lembit. You can actually go in as part of the exhibition. It's quite cool. It's been rebuilt and obviously restored. Actual torpedo room. Real one this time. crew quarters. Unbelievably tight getting through these little segments. Vintage diesel submarine engine. You don't see that every day. Very cool. Very cool. A lesser torpedo room. And then after that, it was pretty much time to head over on to check-in. So rode over to the place I was staying. Little self-service apartments again, cheap and cheerful, good value, really close to the centre. So headed on in on foot to enjoy the sights. So first major waypoint of this little tour of Tallinn was going up to the grounds of the St. Alexander Nevsky Cathedral and just enjoying the views. You can see the old town, and right there in the middle you can see St. Olaf's Church. Beautiful day, and a really, really picturesque city as well. Took this picture, quite nice. But carried on in, heading towards St. Alexander Nevsky's Cathedral. This is an Estonian government building opposite the cathedral. Not actually sure quite what it is, but now this is inside the cathedral, but you can't film properly inside, so I decided not to. But it was beautiful, absolutely mind-blowing. Always blows my mind when you go inside and you look just how tall those buildings are. How did they build it? Arches unbelievably far from the ground. What a feat of engineering. But anyway, saw the cathedral, was great, and then walked into the old town and saw the town hall, which is another very historical building in Tallinn. Very, very cool. I went in, paid the small ticket price to go in and read all about the town hall and the history of the time and stuff like that. I'm not going to yap on over these clips, but for anyone considering going to Tallinn, 100% go here. Check this out. It's really cool. This was a display of the various types of bricks that have been used over the years when building and restoring the town hall. Quite cool. An historical map of how it was back in the days of the Hanseatic League. Looking at this slightly confused me because Tallinn is further down south in the country of Estland, and the Tallinn is called Reval, but that used to be the name, it turns out. After enjoying the town hall, headed on over to St. Olaf's Church. Unfortunately, the 124-metre tall tower closes at 5:30, which was the exact time I arrived, so missed out on that. Almost got mowed down by a horse-drawn carriage on the way out as well, but decided to call it a day after that. Really, really long day, but really, really good and enjoyable. Headed to a pub nearby, which is labelled the oldest craft beer pub in Tallinn, and enjoyed a couple of local Estonian pints. And after enjoying those, headed home, ate dinner, and went to bed.